Hello and a very warm welcome. In today's video we're going to talk Lando Norris, and he is an absolute bottle job at the highest level. This is going to be a controversial one. He's a fan's favourite and many believe this guy will be world champion. But unfortunately I've got broad shoulders and I'm going to give my take on Lando Norris. Lando Norris is an absolute bottle job. There's no other. One of my subscribers summed it up perfectly. Lando Norris is the Harry Kane of Formula One. We'll start on the positive. Lando Norris has had an excellent season. But with that excellence, he's also been found out, if you ask me. He's second in the drivers on 199. And he's had 8 podiums and managed to get his first win. He's 78 points off Max. Now I will say it here and now, if Lando Norris wins this year's title, I will literally go Lando Norris full kit. The hat, the top, number 4 on me, I'll wear everything if he wins the title, because it's not happening. Just forget it. Everyone banging the drum, he's a world champion, he's in the title fight. He's not in the title fight because he bottles too much. Look at his start again at Spa. It's not good enough at this level. And McLaren should have a lot more points than they do. And McLaren are actually favourites now for the constructors. With Sergio Perez being announced, there's no excuses. McLaren should win the constructors. And if they don't, it's a catastrophic failure. But with Lando, you never know what's going to happen. He's a bit like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. He's a decent driver. And I do respect his loyalty to McLaren. Because he's carried McLaren in very tough years. But now we have a good car. Lando is not good enough to lead the team. And he's not good enough mentally when the car's there. I mean, time and time again, look, this season. He's done very well this season. I mean, he's got 8 podiums. He's second in the drivers. But he is a serial bottler when the pressure is on. He can't handle it. As we saw at Silverstone, as we've seen at Russia, when you need that bold call. And Lewis made it perfectly at Silverstone. And Lando was like, oh, I'll just copy the 7-time champion because that's the easier option. He had a fresh set of mediums, would have won the race. But he copies Lewis. And what did he do at Russia? Okay, he was a bit more inexperienced back then. He choked that as well. Should have been in the pits. He would have won the race. He's a serial bottler, is Lando Norris. And there's a lot of hype and there's a lot of love for him out there. This will be unpopular and a lot of people will probably hammer me. But like I say, I've got broad shoulders. I'm going to say it how it is, as I always do. He's a bottle job. We've seen it time and time again. Especially Austria couldn't get the job done. How many times did he try and overtake Max? Now if that's Alonso, Lewis, Piastri even, they get their job done. Even Charles Leclerc, they get the job done. And Norris, time and time again, desperate to the outside, dive bomb. It was desperate. And what happened? They ended up colliding. Obviously it was more Max's fault, but he should have had the job done 10 laps before that. Silverstone, choked it, copied Lewis, should have won the race. And he got first stop. Hungary, again, choked the win with a shit start. And that is the next topic we're going to cover. Lando Norris and his starts. His starts are just unacceptable. For someone who's supposedly in the title fight, his starts have been a joke. He's lost positions at Spain. I can't make this any bigger, otherwise I would. But as you can see, started first at Spain, lost 2 places. Great Britain, lost 1 place. Hungary, lost 2 places. Belgium, lost 2. I believe that was actually 3. Yeah. This season, he's lost a total of 14 places. And if you look throughout his history in F1, look at this. Total places lost gained after lap 1 minus 71. Total races with places lost after lap 1, 50, 37.9%. Total races with places gained is only 32%. Total races with no change, 29. It starts a massive issue. McLaren have a good car and they're not capitalising. Lando Norris should be winning more races. He should have at least 5 wins this season. And he sat on 1, which was due to a lucky VSC, how he won at Miami. Yeah, he's not my most favourite driver, Lando Norris. Far from it, but I'm just saying how I see it. He won a race at Miami due to lucky VSC, and what's he done since? Apart from bottle every opportunity he's had. I mean, yeah. He will never be a champion in Formula 1. He's not ruthless enough. Do you know what he reminds me of, Lando Norris? Ricciardo 2.0. Everything's a laugh. Everything's a joke. And where's Daniel Ricciardo? Finished. Finished at the highest level. Leaving Red Bull was his biggest mistake. And he's a banter man. He's a social media puppet. And that is exactly what Lando Norris is. He is a banter man. Everything's a big laugh, a joke. Coulda, woulda, every weekend. Should have been on pole this weekend. Coulda won the race this weekend. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. You would be a champion in that. But no. He is literally a Daniel Ricciardo. A social media lovey who can't get it done at the highest level. He will win a few races, Lando Norris. But he won't be a world champion. Never in a month of Sundays. And if he is a world champion, I'll be the first to congratulate him. But, yeah. He's arrogant. That's another thing I don't like about him. He's so arrogant. And he's achieved nothing in Formula 1. You can talk a good game if you're Fernando Alonso, Max, or Lewis Hamilton. But these drivers who have achieved nothing should not be talking a good game. And that goes for Charles Leclerc, George Russell, Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri. They've achieved nothing. And yet they talk themselves up. You got to believe in yourself, but yeah. Overhyped, overrated, will never be world champion. That's how I see it. I know a lot of people are going to come out in his defence, so be it. I will reply to everyone, no matter whether you agree or not, but I'm just giving my honest thoughts. Piastri is the better driver out of the two. Yes, Lando's ahead, but look at the Piastri scored 80 points recently. He's only 32 off Lando. Piastri should be given the reins to lead this team. Piastri is the better driver and a champion. Lando is not. Yeah, he's overhyped by the British media as usual. And for me, if I'm being totally straight, he is, out the 3 UK drivers, he's the worst of them all. Lewis is better than Lando Norris. George Russell is better than Lando Norris. He's beat him in equal machinery in F2. And yeah, George is a better driver than Lando. Ollie Behrman coming in, depending what he can do, he may even be better. We'll have to wait and see. Crucial moments, he panics. He panics like a cat in litter, scratching about. He absolutely panics. We've seen it at Sochi. We've seen it at Silverstone. He absolutely panics. And he could have been ruthless. That is one thing I would say. He had the opportunity at Hungary to keep the place. And I respect him for giving the place back because that was the right thing to do. But if he'd have done that, that's a nasty side. And every champion needs that nasty side. But Norris wants to be best chums with everyone. Favoritised at all costs. McLaren will do anything to prioritise this guy over Piastri. And Piastri needs to be the number one at McLaren. That's the way I see it. If McLaren really want to get back winning, becoming elite, they have to go with Oscar Piastri as the number one. Because Piastri gets the job done. Lando doesn't. Look at Piastri's performance at Spa as well. Yeah, I do respect Lando's loyalty to the team. It's been phenomenal. And obviously, winning a title with McLaren means more than if you go to another team and win 7. I have that same mentality. Winning a title with McLaren means so much more than any other team. But this is just my honest thoughts. It will divide opinion, may be controversial, but that's how I see it. He will not be a world champion, and he's an absolute bottle job, as we've seen in the last 5 races. Even Imola, Canada, you could say he's won. And he keeps choking. The pressure's on. He panics like hell. And his starts have been abysmal lately. Comment down below your thoughts. Yeah, a controversial one, I would say. There's going to be a lot of people defending him, but I don't think he's champion material. His mentality is not there. Soft. Yeah, not explosive enough for me. Comment down below your thoughts. Adios.